was me. Alright, let's do some Tai Chi together. Hopefully everybody is doing well today. Allow your feet to connect, and then pull your head top up to the highest point. Relax your shoulders, relax your hips. Take a deep breath. Bring your hands together in the center. Connect the tongue to the upper palate. Lift the base. Activate the feet. And then move your mind into the center and recalibrate again. Do all the things that you need to do. Make the adjustments that you need to make. Take another long, deep breath and relax. Let's start with some Qigong. We're going to be working in the third section today, and I want to do a sort of brief warm-up, a little bit of stretching. So make your feet comfortable, and we're just going to start breathing with a stretch. So full inhale, reach all the way up, reach all the way out to the sides, relax at the base, inhaling all the way up, exhaling all the way out. Go at your own pace. When you reach the top, you can slow down to make the stretch. Stretch out your spine, your legs, your arms. And then exhale and let everything fully relax at the base. Try to make a yin-yang. So at the top, everything is stretched and expanded and reaching. And at the base, everything is relaxed. Do 3 more and make them even slower. When you finish, bring your feet back together in the center and calibrate again. Bring the head top to its highest point. Activate your feet. Breathing deep. Connect the tongue to the upper palate. Half smile is minimum. Keep the chin tucked. The chest is hollow. Your center is supporting. Take another deep breath and relax. Okay, so let's do a little bit of stretching. Let's use the same posture. Activate your feet. Connect the hands in the center and just turning around the center. The same thing we did just a second ago, using your whole body. Grip your feet. If you feel it in your knees, that means you've turned your legs too far. Lock your hips, turn your spine, pull the head top up, and use the breathing to reach the maximum. And try to reach the same fullness of breath we just did a second ago. See further each time that you turn. So we said the spine, the back, shoulders, neck, head, turning. Turn the eyes inside their socket, and even above that, have your mind turning even further. Do one more on each side. Come back to the center. Relax. Take a comfortable stance. And then next, lock your shoulders in place and start small. If you haven't done this stretch since last week or the last time, take your time to build up the circle, to stretch out a week's worth of tension. The same thing with the breathing. Try to reach the same full breath that we started with the Qigong. Change directions if you haven't already. You can feel where it's tight and where it's sore. So take your time and do the stretch for yourself. When you come back to the center, line your head up. Shoulder rolls. So again, make sure the breathing is the same quality that we started with earlier. Make these as large as you can. Change directions if you haven't. Then alternate. Try to get your shoulder all the way to the center. Pull it up and back. You can change directions on this one if you like. Next, let's turning around the waist. Make sure that you have space and set your hands on vacation. So completely relax your arms, your wrists, your hands, your fingers, and let gravity do the work. Breathe deep. By the way, this one is good for circulatory issues, for people that have issues with circulation. Keep working. And remember the same deep breathing. Keep turning. For people, a lot of times older people have problems delivering qi to the end. So by doing this one, if you keep working, you keep turning, long breathing, relax even more. Relax all the way down to the center. So just the abs are actually turning. Everything else is relaxed. The center line is stable. And then take a break. And then feel your hands. Right? They should feel more full with blood and fluid because the centrifugal force pulls it out to the extent. So when you see older folks and they have the blue and purple splotches, that type of thing, if their body is capable, this kind of turning exercise can help. There's one for the legs as well. We may look at that another time. Where were we? We turned a little bit at the waist. Before we bend, let's practice balancing a little bit. Grip one foot, bring your other foot up, make your thigh 90 degrees flat like a tabletop, and then if I'm facing the camera directly, pull your leg one way, but keep your body lined up. This is meant to open the lower back. It's Q4, so all of the accountants are trying to get their end of the year work done at the desk. Grip the ground. Change feet. Remember to breathe. Keep the tongue connected to the upper palate. And we're cross pulling. You see my standing leg is straight. This leg turning. So I bring it up straight and then pull it across. Try to keep this back here while this leg is up. Try not to let it tilt. Keep it flat and level. In fact, you can use a wall for this one to check. When you have the time. Okay, did we balance it out? Did we do both sides? Did you get an equal stretch on each? Next, make your feet at least shoulder width wide. And usually for this one, this is a passive type of stretch where we just let gravity do the work. We're going to do it 3 times. The first one is going to be passive. The other 2, we're going to change between the feet. So, and you can make this wider if you like more of a stretch. Grip the ground, push your tailbone back and away, and at first, we're just relaxing. Let your head, your neck, let your hair down. Remember to breathe the same long, deep breathing that we started with. And when you're ready, unroll your spine, use your abs, breathing, inflate fully all the way, and relax. For these next 2, take a break for a second, just watch. When we fold down, we're going to reach out for one side, reaching as far to the side, and then reaching to the same to the other side as well. And you can reach further if you like, stretch. You can see this is the foundation for, we're going for a stretch. Something like this to get to each side. If you have an injury or are just getting into exercise, this Tai Chi program, this stretch is a little different. So make sure that you know your body and don't push any limits. Grip the ground. Push your tailbone back and away. I'm starting with my left side, and see if you can fold your body to the leg. Remember to breathe, and remember you're stretching your spine as well. And then change. I'm changing right to the other side. Remember to breathe. Try to relax. And you can come back to the center, use your abs, relax your back and spine, inflating, inhaling all the way up. And relax. And next, make the feet a comfortable stance. We're just going to turn around the center a few times. Breathing deep. This is your stretch, so feel your hips. Feel where, if it feels good in one side, one corner, turn around there. If you haven't changed directions already, do that. Next, let's do feet shoulder width wide, shoulder width deep. Fold the inside hip here. You can use your leg or a stable object to support. Reaching. Same Qigong breathing that we started with. Breathe deep, push forward. Shoulder width wide. Shoulder width deep. Fold the inside hip. Grip the ground with your standing foot and see if you can stretch the other toes out. So you have a yin-yang in your toes. One is gripping, the other is reaching, stretching, spreading, expanding. And then when you're ready, push forward. Take a deep breath. Okay, so we're in the third section. If you're newer and you are not sure what's happening, there's lots of other videos to watch. But in this form, anytime you hear the term rollback, we're going to come back to a series of movements that repeat all the time. So look for that. That's the sort of 8 basic movements. We are towards the end of the third section, and today we're going to work through the end of the third section looking at punch low. There is a dibouhua, a fold knees, that occurs at the end of the third section that is different than the previous two. Dibouhua repeats 3 times. So we're going to look at that today, and if we have whatever other questions we have. Let's start in the third section, beginning the third section. So start in the center. In the first section we start to the side. Starting the third section in middle, turn to Tai Chi Harmony. Correct your posture. Internally correct your posture. Grip the ground with your feet. Lift the pelvic floor in conjunction with your breathing. Connect the tongue to the upper palate. Activate your vision. Opening shoulder width wide. We're going to start with commencement, just as if we're starting the first section. But then from here, we're stepping into turning body, warning palm, facing due south. Breathe deep to roll back. Join the palms together. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Schwa. On. Horizontal. Split. Hook. Side whip. My feet are parallel. I'm facing east. This is wild horse. Parting its mane. 1. Breathe deep. Sink the left side. Wild horse. Parting its mane. 2. Breathe deep. Right hip, right shoulder drop. Wild horse. Parting its mane. Number 3. Natural breathing for rollback. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal split. Hook. Side whip. This is 4 corners. Looking. Step. Press. Corner number 3. Looking first, turning backwards. This is corner number 4. If you've survived 4 corners, you should have at least a half smile. Left grasp, right press, chi, an. Left, glance right, double press. Horizontal, split, hook. This is a corner whip, and you can step wide because we're doing snake. Creeps down, and when we return, standing on the left foot, chin chi tu li. Standing on the right foot, chin chi tu li. Breathe deep, repulse the monkey. 1, 2, 3. Opening to the side. I'm going to move a little. Opening to the side. This is Sherfei. Left-handed, left-footed needle at the bottom of the sea. San Tong Bay, turning 180, block, punch, kick, square step, lan, shui, head top up, tailbone down. This is Di Bu Hua. Sheng Bu Yi, chain step, breathe deep, roll back. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal split. We're back facing front. The last one went to the corner, so that means this one goes parallel. Cloud hands. Number 1 right, number 1 left. Cloud hands. 2 of 2. Breathing deep, cloud hands. 3 of 3. Hook. Corner whip. Continue turning. This is white snake, flashes its tongue. Turn 180, pull right, kick right. Cross kick is what we've looked at for the past 2 weeks. Square step, brush low, punch low. This is a half Di Bu Hua. Change step, breathe deep, roll back. We're going to continue. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal split. We're facing north again. The last one was parallel. This one goes to the corner. This is the second snake creeping down, except this time on the return, step up to 7 stars. We're turning 90 degrees to the north for Tui Bu Hua Hu. Turning 180 for Bailian. Turning another 90, Wonggong Circle. Facing west, block, punch, kick, square step, lan. Shui Yino Rufong. Sibi means we're at the end of the section. Turning to the north, return tiger to mountain. Block. Gravity punch right and left. Bring everything back to the center. Take a deep breath. Okay, before we continue, anyone have questions, thoughts, comments, ideas? Cool. Okay, so last week we looked at snake creeps down. We've been looking at cross kick, and we talked about I wanted to get these shapes across. And then also the concept of we can use this one turning like a door. So, and then snake creeping down is if I do my cloud hands and I have hook and I turn, we cover the weapons, we bring this up through. The snake flashes tongue. How thoroughly do we cover this last week? Do we need to do more snake creeps down? We can revisit this one because I like it. It's an interesting one, and very similar in the first section when we have a cover and a punch. Here we have a cover and a poke, right? So for holding the moon in the chest, and the white snake flashes his tongue. These are good hand techniques for people that studying Wing Chun. They have all their palm techniques, palm changes. All right, so snake creeps down, and then when we turn, pull kick. Yes, there was a text question that just came through. And then turn, pull kick, cross kick, brush, punch, and then this dibouhua. Let's actually look at the punch that comes before it. It's the same as in the second section, and in TC's form he calls it low punch. But in Yong Cheng Fu called this punch to groin. So TC was more subtle about his naming of things, so he just called it low punch. And on this one, the fist has to come up to the ear. So let's look at where it occurs. If we have, what do we say? We have snake flashes his tongue, we turn 180, pull and kick, cross kick, brush, step, here. So the fist should be at ear level, and how you make the arc, the shape of it, except if you see the angle of my leg here, the fist here, this is the same angle. So this punch low is traveling downwards this way. And then we assume it's been caught, it's been intercepted, right? So after the punch, when we do fold knees, right, this is the same as the previous. We've covered this at least twice, once in the second section. I think we've just breezed past it in the third section on the second time. So now the third one, the only change is instead of doing a fold, whatever your fold, right? Some people have strong legs and want to tip their knee all the way. Never rest on the knee, right? In the Tai Chi competition, using the other limb is called a rest. It's called a break, and it's you get penalized points. But we should have legs strong enough to be able to support without actually touching, having the knee on the ground. Go as deep as you like. As much as you feel is a 100% for a dibouhua, you want to do a 50% dibouhua for the last one. And this contains a concept that we saw happening in the second section. So, real quick review, what is dibouhua? If somebody grabs my wrist and they're connected to it, right, and they have a connection from their hand to their center, meaning they're trying to be firm. They're not allowing this to be like a rope that would lead. If they're being firm, then we're going to match that by making the connection from their hand go to our center by making this one piece. And then they're holding on to one piece that's connected to this anchor in the center, and we're going to drop that anchor. You see how my hand drops at the same time? It's not relaxed. This is one time when we have tension, right? We have some purpose in the arm. So we punch, it's been connected. My hand isn't dropping, my center is dropping. My hand is connected to the center. Is that clear? Does it make sense? Right? Anybody? Yeah. All right. Punch, half fold knees. Why does it change? Let's take a comfortable stance and do some Qigong while I'm explaining this. So in the first section we have something called brush knee C-step, and that repeats a few times. And then in the second section we have the same thing. Brush knee C-step repeats twice, and then it turns into brush knee straight step punch. And Dibuhua is the same thing. It occurs in the second section, early in the third section, and then late in the third section. And it's normal, normal, and then a half one. And in the English language, I haven't found a better translation of what the intent is for that than something that comes from, there's a style of martial art called Jeet Kune Do that was made up by Bruce Lee. And I asked my Kung Fu teachers, I said, what do you think about the Jeet Kune Do, Bruce Lee? And one said he was a good actor. And another one said he could have actually created a style of martial art had he survived. So there's some opinions about that. But that topic aside, he invented a word or borrowed a word from another source called motor setting. It's a compound word, motor and setting. And the idea is that you're setting up the opponent's motor system, right? Their nervous system to expect something. So if I I punch, right, and then you block, and I punch and you block, and you punch and I block, and you punch and I block, and then I change to the other one. You're expecting one thing, and then you give them the other. So returning back to breathing. So this is a concept that's hidden inside of the Tai Chi form. Is if the opponent is grabbing, and they're the kind of opponent that's going to benefit from setting them off of their balance using Dibuhua, and we can't make it effective. We give them one attempt. We attempt it one way. We attempt it the same way. When we attempt it the third time, we make a change. They're not expecting it. So this is an indication. Pardon me, I have to do something here. Okay, let's try that. Oh no, my assistant has disturbed my assistant with my coughing. Alright. Say hello to everybody. Kung Fu Kitty. Alright, here we go. Okay, motor setting. Okay, so punch to groin. Let's continue. Let's practice some Tai Chi. Let's do everything we just did a second ago. Again, let's do the third section from beginning to end. I think we have time. Let me actually address the question. Somebody said in the text, they said, can we practice an exercise that strengthens the legs so that to do needle at the bottom of the C correctly. And by the way, the leg strength that's required for needle at the bottom of the C when we're doing this is the same kind of leg strength that we use for débutant. And yeah, we can talk about leg strength exercise. The most basic, if you want to practice something correctly, is to actually practice the thing that you want to practice. In the 80s, maybe it was the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, somewhere in there, in the sports world, there was a big buzzword, cross-training, right? In fact, Nike made, shoe companies started making shoes so that you could do different things at once. And at that time, I was not into sports. I was very much into snowboarding. And one of my heroes was a guy named Jake Burton. And he was a long-time snowboarder and invented a snowboard company called Burton Snowboards. And I read an interview with him, and he said, "There's no cross-training for snowboarding. Nothing you can do is going to be, maybe surfing, maybe skateboarding, but your edge control, the surface of the snow, there's many, many variables. There's no cross-training for Tai Chi." Maybe some, we could do lift some weights and that kind of thing. My recommendation is to do the thing, because you strengthen your legs in all the right way. And we have an exercise, and I know the person that asked this question really likes this exercise, is X-stepping. So if we start in the center and we step back to the corner, and then we step back to the center, this looks very boring because I'm only doing a very basic step, just walking. But we can do this same X-stepping exercise if you really relax your tailbone and pull the head top up. When you step back to the corner, you can step further and sink lower and keep it at that height, and then balance. And then when you return, make sure that you're in full control of every step, every point of movement. Grip the ground. And so this X-stepping at a low height, practicing needle at the bottom of the C, will actually make you better at it. But we can look at some leg exercises. Let's do more Tai Chi. Start in the center. Allow your feet to touch. Take a deep breath. Opening shoulder width wide. Expand. Relax weight. Tai Chi, Qi Shi, the start of Tai Chi. Move your right foot in your left hand, your left foot in your right hand. Stepping. Press. Breathe deep. Roll back. Turning south. Press. Breathing deep. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal. Split. Hook. Side whip. We're facing east. This is wild horse shaking its mane. 1. Wild horse shaking its mane, number 2. And number 3. Breathe deep. Roll back. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. horizontal split, hook, side whip, facing north, and this is 4 corners. Looking, turning northwest, press, looking, turning southwest, looking, turn backwards, southeast. This next one, left grasp, right press through the center, square step, G, on. So gu, yo pan, shuang, on. Horizontal, split, hook. This is corner whip, snake creeping down. Returning to the center, opening on the right side, Jin Ji Du Li, breathe deep, opening. On the left side, Jin Ji Du Li, breathing right into Riposta Monkey. To the side, this is Shir Fei. You can make a small or large shoulder bump, left-handed, left-footed high Dizane. San Tong Bei, turning 180, block punch kick, square step, lan. Regular punch, and then full Di Bu Hua. Keep the head top up, the back straight. Breathe deep to roll back. Press. Push. Left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal, split, hook, side whip. This is cloud hands. Right, left. On the right we press, on the left we step and press. Number 2. One more on each side. Press, press, hook, facing north. Corner whip, facing west, continue turning, shift back and cover, snake, flashing its tongue, turn 180, pull with the right side, kick with the right side, cross kick, square step, brush low, punch low, half, Di Bu Hua. Shang Bu Li, breathe deep. Squeeze. Push. Left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal. Split. Hook, corner whip for the last one. This is the second snake creeping down, stepping due west, step up to 7 stars. Tui Bu turning to the north, Huahu, turning 180. This is called Bailian. Facing due south, open the bow to shoot a tiger. Facing west, block punch kick. Breathe deep, lan, shui. Undo the twist tie. Press once, twice. Turning to the north. Return tiger to mountain. Block. Punch right, punch left. Bring everything back to the center. Take a deep breath. Anyone have questions, thoughts, comments? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, next week are we going to practice the lotus kick? Look into the lotus kick neck, or you pretty much looked at that already?
No, because the thing that we've been doing, I'm calling it cross kick.
Cross kick.
Yeah, in TC's big translation of the form, it's called right block, left slap hit with lotus swing. So he's naming this kick the same. So let's look at where that happens. So cross kick, brush, punch low. We talked about this. Half fold knees. We talked about that. Change step, roll back, etc. Hook. What's the next one? Corner whip. Snake, creeping down, step up to 7 stars. This would be the sort of next one, right? The 2 snake creeping downs, I do them the same because the first technique, the first half of it where you're taking your opponent and pulling this way is the same, but the second half changes. On the first one in the third section, we make this circle return back up to the opponent, right? Back up to their center line. I mean, back up for Jinji Dali. The second one, after we come over, the whole body changing to get up to step up to 7 stars. So we're going to look at that and what is the meaning of step up to 7 stars, right? This actually very similar in the first section, where is it, horizontal split, where we have this split and then we roll up in here, right, in the first section. So there's, that's called lift hands to up posture. So all right, so where were we? So after we step up to 7 stars, so that's the next sort of custom one. Kwahu. The next one after Kwahu is the kick. Right? So and Kwahu, these we can sort of buzz through these if you'd like to get to the one so that you can be practicing that one more. By the way, Wonggong Suhu, open the bow, lotus kick, these 2 are sort of the piece de resistance for this form. So this is what we're building towards, what we're working to, what we're trying to achieve. And ultimately, we're looking for this type of power coming out from the center. Let's actually do a little bit of Qigong close. There was a thing beeping saying it's time. Make your feet nice and comfortable, breathing deep. The same thing we had talked about earlier. Make this a stretch. So on your way up to the top, reaching, expanding, and then let the air just drift out of your lungs on its own, no effort. Long, full breathing intention, yang. Full relaxation, yin. Go at your own pace. You can make this one a stretch, but we did a lot of heavy stretching on the first one, so this one we should make the opposite. More relaxed. You can inhale and reach the extent without all the stretching. Make sure the tongue is connected to the upper palate. So you're learning Tai Chi is like walking in a fog. The fog has very tiny, subtle particles. And after you walk in the fog for some time, you realize your jacket is wet, but you don't feel it. It's the same with learning Tai Chi. It's the same with any subtle practice. It's the same with the enlightenment. You put in the effort. And then after some time you have a large collection of effort to look back upon. Wherever you're at with these, do 3 more. Go at your own pace. Make these the longest, deepest breaths of the week. If you've made it this far, you should have at least a half smile. And then when you're ready, bring your feet together in the center. Bring your hands together in the center. Due to time, we're going to keep this closing meditation short. So just put your mind into your dantian, into your navel, belly button. Grip your feet to connect yourself to the ground. Lift the base of the torso. Connect the tongue to the upper palate. Take a deep breath. And with your mind in the center, see if you can feel your whole body at once, from your head top to your fingertips to your toes. And then take a minute here breathing all of the chi, all of the energy. If you feel warm in your body after practicing, imagine that that's all closing in on the center, like particles that come from the outside going to the inside. And that you can store all of that energy for later. Use your breathing to control it. And then, here with your eyes at least part closed, breathing deep, have a gratitude practice on the inside. Doesn't matter what's happening on the outside. If you're here, taking this class online, at home, anywhere, it means you can breathe deep. Smile to yourself. Looking inwards, take a second to have gratitude to yourself, for yourself. One long last deep breath. And that's it. It's time, call, text, write, and yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Good class.
Thank you. All right, see you guys.
Yeah, catch you next week.